Is actually one of the most robust and reproduced findings in psychology. And in IQ, which was pioneered by uh, Charles Spearman, his idea about the G factor is the foundation for, assessing people's intelligence and cognitive abilities in general. Is really robust, but on the other hand, it is limited in that sense that people are required to sit in a room and work on specific tasks, and so they are not supposed to do anything else. And in that context, you are tested on how concentrated you can remain and how you can recruit you know resources, computational resources in your brain to a certain task, and for that, prefrontal areas would be recruited. For example, that also are the prefrontal cortex, DLPFC, and other areas, and so it's a test of how focused you can be, and that is certainly a great measure of intelligence, but not the only measure. Now, if you look at people like Elon Musk, no, I don't know Elon Musk's IQ value, but that's not really the issue, is it? I mean, he moves around in this world and makes decisions and uh, takes challenges and communicate with people, connect the dots, and they, result these activities result in wonderful, you know, fruits like SpaceX, Tesla, X, and so on, Neuralink, Boring Company, Hyperloop, and all these wonderful things. And I'm sure Elon Musk is going to Mars someday, and he may even streamline U.S. government. If the Trump administration's plan to cut down the excessive federal spending is successful. So in that sense, Elon Musk is a really intelligent person in his actions, choices, the real trajectory, if you like, of his mind body in this world. And that is a really interesting aspect of intelligence, isn't it? I mean, it's different from IQ as traditionally envisioned. And probably it's more important than traditional IQ. There are people with high IQ values with really, nothing to see in their lives, and that I'm not saying that that's a problem. I mean, I'm, after all, author of the Ikigai book, and from the point of Ikigai, even if you don't do anything in your life, that's okay. I mean, if you, as long as you enjoy and you are yourself, that's a really wonderful thing. But on the other hand, you know, there is a genuine scientifically interesting question: how you can measure intelligence in real world, and that I think is a really interesting challenge in artificial intelligence research, because in AI research, people cite IQ values, the calculated IQ values of large language models, foundation models, and people say that this model has an IQ equivalent of something in humans, and that is certainly an interesting measurement, and it's really a worthwhile research. But on the other hand, we all know that IQ in this context cannot be everything, and if, especially as we try to apply artificial intelligence technologies to real world problems like starting a company, managing a company, making scientific discoveries, and implementing these discoveries. We do need to, expand our vision and go out of the exam room, because you can certainly measure traditional IQ values in conventional exam rooms. Uh, you can't actually measure performances in real world achievements, real achievements, by using these values. So there is this genuinely interesting problem of how you can measure, um, you know, intelligence and cognition in real terms in real life. And I think the case of Elon Musk is really interesting because his excellence cannot be measured purely in terms of IQ values examined in the room. And so, in this sense, embodiment is clearly important because people have been making such a fuss about embodied cognition, right? But we haven't been able to pin down what exactly is the issue. What is different uh, between um, this embodied intelligence, like large language models, and embodied intelligence, like ourselves or the robots we are building. And the trajectory of these agents, large language models and robots, are different. And they are different in a really important sense that the latter is embodied and moves in the real world and makes choices and decisions and execute actions, and in that process involve other people, other agents, and recruit many material resources. And so that's a huge difference between symbolic or token based artificial intelligence systems like the large language models and robots. So so this question of the difference between uh, IQ in the room and in the classroom, in the exam room, and IQ, uh, you know, ex- um, measured in real world is a really, really interesting issue. And so this is something that we need to take care of and be concerned with as human beings as we go about our business of doing something in this world, and also as a research issue. How and you know uh, how we can measure the performance of artificial intelligence systems from here. Because I think just to concentrate on traditional aspects of intelligence defined in the closed environment of the room is too limited in terms of the context involved. And so I think we do need to, enlarge our vision and include the performance of artificial intelligence systems in real world um, in an embodied fashion. And there's a huge gap here. And this gap is really interesting to fill in the case of humans as well as in artificial intelligence systems.